Hey there, happy September. This is such a great month for middle grade releases. I have read 12 advanced reader copies of middle grade books coming out this month, and I cannot wait to tell you about them. Because I've read so many, I'm going to make it a two-part series. I'm not going to share all my favorites the first time. So tell me in the comments below, what is a book that you have read recently, whether it be at the start of the school year or over the summer, that you have just loved, and let's just talk books. So the author sent me this one. This is Shakira Borns, and she also sent me the first one. I didn't get a chance to read the first one, but let me tell you, she writes this one in such a way that I understood what happened in this one without completely ruining it, that I can go back and read this one and really find it enjoyable, I'm sure. And so the main character, Josephine, she is involved with this mythical creature, and I've really been getting into and enjoying just different folklore of different countries. So we've got this Caribbean folklore going on, and so she returns with her same friend, Akai, I really hope I'm saying that right, that they're up against another mythical creature. So the Heartman, he is one that if you're out past dark, you've got to beware, because he might get you, and he can, with his bare hands, steal the heart of an individual, and then they are just lost. And so it's this story that kids have grown up with to keep them in at night, and they really are starting to wonder whether it's true, but still some adults in the community are still believing in this. And so she finds herself going up against the Heartman. But also in the story, so in Barbados, you know, they're getting ready for going to the secondary school, and, you know, it just did not work out for her and her best friend how they've been dreaming. And so they've got school issues. They've got friend issues, that her best friend has another good friend now that she's got to deal with. And we've got all these mythical creature issues going on as well. And so we revisit from the previous book some of these stories, and she finds herself interacting with the Heartman, and you get to learn why you have to beware the Heartman. And I loved that it really took some twists that I really wasn't expecting. I was surprised how the story developed, and then I was surprised how, you know, when it was all coming together with these key characters. And it was just so much fun. I thought it was exciting. I cannot wait to read more from Shakira, and I think you will really enjoy it. You should definitely get it on yourself. So the next one is another one that I just love. This is a 5-star, hands down. So we've got Impossible Creatures. And it really reminded me of like writing like Secret Garden and Narnia. I love the writing style, first off. And then it was just an exciting adventure. So it just felt new and fresh and exciting, where this boy, of course, he doesn't know anything about the fantastical world, but here on Earth, there's a magical realm that it's protected by magic, where his ancestors have been guardians over that. And so this girl comes out of the magical world, and they end up getting together, going back in on this quest to figure out what is wrong with the magic. Why is the magic being threatened? And so they've got to work together, and they meet some kind of unlikely traveling companions, some adults actually. And I like that when we bring adults into the situation, because sometimes it's just unrealistic that kids would work on their own and save the world, right? And so it's fun, it's exciting. The adventure is really quick and fast paced, where they meet lots of different characters, some that you'll be familiar with through different, you know, magical stories you might have exposure to, and some just are new and fun to discover. And as they discover what is wrong with the magic and what are they going to do, can they possibly save it? And do they want to? And so just great book. I think it's just going to be one that people are going to love for just years to come. So definitely check that one out, and soon. Okay, so we need to talk some realistic fiction. So I love James Ponti's City Spies, and it's such a great series. It continues. There's more books coming out. So if you haven't started it, just get on that. He's a great writer, but he started another series called the Sherlock Society. So what do you do for a summer job when your last name is Sherlock? Well, you certainly don't go mowing lawns and babysitting, because your last name's Sherlock. You're going to start a detective agency, right? And so they do it with the help of, you know, the semi-responsible adult in their grandpa, and they come up with some ideas of what case they're going to solve. and they start investigating one that they decide on, and it takes them down some really unexpected turns. And I love the family relationships in here and the friendship relationships, you know, these side themes, really well developed, but also the mystery is so well developed that you've got to keep reading and finding out what's the next thing that they are going to do and that they are going to discover. And what are they going to do when they are in danger? Because they find themselves in some real danger there. So just such a fantastic, fun, realistic fiction mystery there for you. All right, so another realistic fiction that I just loved was Quagmire. Tiarello couldn't be better. And so this poor kid, he just finds himself in this situation where he doesn't know where his mom is. His mom has never been a responsible adult. She's had her situation throughout his life that he's been, you know, trying to take care of her and trying to take care of himself. So where is she now? He doesn't know. He's trying to survive on his own and not let other people know that during the summer, his mom's missing. And so it ends up that a friend who he kind of seems to have a crush on, or he's kind of interested in this girl in a friendship way. And so she invites him to get involved in this summer camp thing that really he wouldn't have been interested in anyways, but he decides to go and give it a shot because of this girl. And so he's getting involved in this, and there's some roadblocks along the way with some other friends in this group with her, but he, you know, things just keep, great, I couldn't be better. Like, the title is so there throughout the book. Yeah, this is just great, it couldn't be better. His negative attitude is very well placed because, you know, it's hard. I cannot imagine. I feel for this kid and the situation he is in. But he's trying still to have productive, good relationships and overcome when he's had, you know, a bad attitude with them. But then mom comes back and she shows up and just in no way like before, just turns his world upside down and then disappears again. And he's got to figure out a way through it. And it's hard. And like I said, you feel for him. And so I love this one. Can't wait to get it on my shelf. I think you definitely need to have it on your shelf as well. So the next one I knew I wanted to read for sure because it's Chainbreaker by Julian Randall, and I loved his books of Pilar Ramirez. And so I interviewed him. It's been a little over a year ago. He's just such a great individual. I loved having him on the channel. You should definitely go back and watch that video and read Pilar. But in the Chainbreakers, this is just phenomenal world building. He does such a great job of building this world. So the Chainbreakers are a group of people who, in their different societies, they've established a heaven where they are helping save the souls who have been lost, the souls of intended slaves that were crossing the ocean. So they're on these boats going out trying to save these souls. Well, if they're out there trying to save somebody, then there must be somebody else out there continuing to cause the opposition, right? And so the Chainmakers, they were cursed because of, you know, enslaving people and bringing them across the ocean. And so they are in a cursed form and they are trying to get to these souls before they are saved. And so there's this adventure that's going on, but then another one that also happens with family and danger, and it's just quick and it's just a really great, adventurous, fun, fantastical story. I think you're gonna love it. So the last one was it's just hilarious. It's a speculative fiction for sure, but it kind of mixes like in a realistic way. And I just loved how ridiculous and fun it was. So it's the No-Brainer's Guide to Decomposition. This family lives like on a body farm where her father's a professor and there's these other professors who are studying the decomposition of bodies in these different states. And the older sister, she is not interested in that because how embarrassing is that, right? But then the younger sister, who's the main character, she's totally into this. And she struggled making friends and she struggles with her ADHD brain, and I love the way the ADHD is presented. It's just this fun, quirky way. She talks about it like a spider weaving a web and getting her distracted, but she's able to focus when she's working on these bodies with her dad. And so it's a lot about that, but then some of them become zombies, and it's almost in like, you know, the science fiction-y kind of way that could that really happen? And so they're trying to round up these zombies before they cause more problems and figure out why and where they came from. And this one individual zombie that they're working with a lot, her and her kind of newly acquired friend, and so discovering his death story, and it's ridiculous and so fun, and I just loved it. I loved the weirdness of it. I loved just the grossness of these dead bodies. It's just phenomenal. You definitely should read it and watch for part 2 of this, because I have 6 more great books to recommend. And if you enjoyed this video, please take a second, subscribe to the channel. That really helps me out. Give it a thumbs up and come back and keep getting more great book recommendations for the kids in your life. Bye.